Many people react strongly when biblical narratives are questioned because these beliefs are tied tightly to their identity. For them, it's more than just a book. It provides a sense of morality, purpose, and safety, especially those who were indoctrinated from a very young age, potentially birth, into such programming. Challenging the narrative can feel like a personal attack, a threat to their very existence. This reaction is less about the logic of the argument and more about the fear that their worldview and the security that it provides might collapse. The Bible offers certainty, rules, and the promise of an afterlife. Losing this framework can trigger anxiety, which causes the ego to instantly go into defense mode. Cognitive dissonance also plays a major role. When confronted with perspectives that contradict their beliefs, the resulting psychological tension is uncomfortable. To reduce this tension, people will attack the source of the information instead of reflecting on if their view might be flawed. This is compounded by the voice of conscience, which does sense the contradictions and deceptions in these religious narratives. Yet years of conditioning and fear-based programming create an inner conflict that is then projected outward onto the messenger. Fear, both emotional and social, intensifies the reaction. Individuals may fear judgment, being ostracized, or spiritually punished if they entertain doubts or question. Challenging biblical narratives means taking personal responsibility for morality and spiritual authority. For people conditioned to rely on external rules and divine authority, this idea is terrifying. The mind seeks to reject any ideas that might undermine the familiar feeling of obedience and safety. From a system perspective, the Bible functions as a control mechanism that reinforces societal and spiritual conditioning. People may lash out defensively, not because of true devotion, but because their conditioned minds perceive a direct threat to the control structures that shape their reality. These intense reactions are the product of fear, cognitive dissonance, ego protection, and an internal battle of suppressed conscience versus external programming. Understanding these dynamics helps one see that the hostility is not personal, for it is rarely about the questioning itself. It is a mirror of the internal struggle and the conditioning of the believer. So many are so tightly bound to the God spell, they cannot critically think. When emotion comes into play, you can't be the neutral observer. And that's why the system uses these lower level emotions just throughout it to bind you as tightly as it can. Have a good day.